Hey guys, my name's Colin and this is Colin Talks Crypto. In this episode, I want to take a look at Bitcoin versus the alts. Right now, is it a smart time to be holding alts or should we be selling them for more Bitcoin? Thank you for joining me. So if you're like me, recently you've been wondering where and how to allocate your portfolio for maximum profits. And since the recent correction from 14,000 down to where we are today, 10,000, obviously altcoins have been utterly decimated. They have been shredded apart, right? The value of many of these cryptocurrency, these altcoins specifically, have just dropped and bled while Bitcoin has maintained or gained over and over again. And I know it's been very painful to watch. It's been painful for me to watch as well. So I'm making this video with that in mind. Recently, I made a trade. I sold 20% of my EOS for more Bitcoin. And I'll just show you right here my chart. It's on the left side here. And you can see that my current holdings as of yesterday was 43% Bitcoin, 30% EOS, 22% ETH, and 5% Bitcoin Cash. I hold Bitcoin Cash as a hedge against what I perceive to be Bitcoin's eventual failure to scale. So it's interesting in that my largest holding is actually the crypto I believe the least in my portfolio, which is kind of weird to say, but I will explain. The reason I'm holding Bitcoin is twofold. It is the name brand recognition. It has the first mover advantage. And I don't think it's as quick to erode that as I first believed. I thought that the market would quickly realize how inefficient and poorly designed the scaling path was for Bitcoin. And I don't think that's the case. I don't think the mainstream even cares what the scaling plan is for Bitcoin. And I don't think that they're going to get involved with that debate whatsoever. It's not really a mainstream topic. It's really more of a nerdy, techie, in the know kind of subject, the scaling, right? So that's not a factor. And what is a factor is institutional money coming onto the scene. And I think with the likes of Bakkt on September 23rd, bringing institutional money, it's going to go to the name brand first mover name, which is Bitcoin. They haven't even heard of things like Bitcoin Cash or EOS, most likely. And if they've heard of one, it's going to be Bitcoin. So name brand first mover advantage is why I think that the money is going to go into Bitcoin. Yes, I think that fees are going to go out the roof this bull run, and we could see some kind of a flippening at some point. It will be very interesting to watch. That's why right now, and this is not financial advice. This whole video is not financial advice. This is how I am playing the market. This is how I see things. I could be completely wrong, first of all. So don't just go following some random guy on YouTube who has his portfolio on a screen right here. I could be completely wrong. But for me, I think that it's safe to have approximately 50% of my portfolio in Bitcoin right now. And that's purely because I think that institutional money is going to come into that first. Now, the second reason is that historically, Bitcoin has risen first. Alts have followed, Bitcoin rises first. So if you're smart and have good timing, you can ride Bitcoin up, convert it to alts, and ride those up again and maximize your gains. That is an advanced trading technique, and historically that has been the case. And so that's another reason why I recently sold a small portion of my EOS for more Bitcoin. Not because I believe it's a stronger currency, but because I think that that's where the money is going first. So that's what I'm doing. So now let's just take a look at some charts to back up or go against this decision. Is it a smart decision based on the charts? So today Bitcoin's at $10,350, and this is the chart of Bitcoin. And as you can see, we peaked here. This is 2017, about $20,000. It had a long correction, and we have just started up on the next bull run, although a little too steeply, hence the couple month-long correction period that we are now in. And it is consolidating. So now we're going to zoom in on this consolidation period. And you can see that the volatility is decreasing. And I have a picture here. We're just going to look at the screenshot from my previous video because I illustrated it, I think, very clearly here. And you can see on this picture that it is definitely forming a wedge pattern. And this is the overall crypto market, first of all. This isn't Bitcoin specifically. This is the overall crypto market. But we have some serious wedge patterns forming here, and there's going to be a breakout. And it could break down as well. There is a small chance it could break down. I think there's a much larger chance it will break up, just given the fact that right now, as we have shown, we are in a bull market and we're in a correction of a sub peak in a bull run, but it's going to generally go up from here. So yeah, we could touch down to 9,000, 8,000 for a brief moment, but it's going to be very, very brief if so. And I think it's more likely Bitcoin's going to go up. So this chart to me bodes in favor of holding Bitcoin right now, as opposed to holding altcoins. Okay, let's look at another chart. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart. The orange graph, I wish they would update this with the current top performing altcoins, but this orange section is Bitcoin. And as you can see, for the first many, many years, up till 2017 when it failed to scale and we had fees reaching $50, since then, since the last 2 years, it has gone back up gradually and with some dips and peaks. But I think that this chart does not bode well for holding Bitcoin. So this is the other side of things, because we're at a relative high. I mean, in the past 2 years, we're at the highest point of Bitcoin dominance. So I think it's more likely for Bitcoin dominance to decrease from this point forward. But for all we know, this could be incorrect and it could continue to climb for another year before dropping. It's really relative to the nature of the bull run. And from what I've seen, remember I said that Bitcoin typically leads the pack. So if we take into account my previous hypothesis that the next Bitcoin bull run high will be approximately January of 2021, that gives us a while to go. And for all we know, that could mean that Bitcoin dominance continues to go up for another year. In that case, it would be very bad to be holding altcoins. However, like I said, having this high for the past 2 years, it seems more likely that we're going to head downward than upward on Bitcoin dominance. So again, there's a couple ways of looking at this. So now let's take a look at EOS. That's one of my favorite coins. It had a spike here in April of 2018, and ever since then, it's been pretty much downtrending. We had the recent June announcement, which was unfortunately a disappointment for the most part. I think because mostly people didn't truly get the magnitude of what's going to be happening on EOS with the user ID specifically in conjunction with voice. But the market doesn't care. If the rumors and the announcements seemed weak, then the market's going to react. So I don't blame that whatsoever. I understand completely. So I do think that there is a lot of bullishness in store for EOS. And here was the June peak, and here it is today, pretty much a straight downturn. It does appear to be consolidating. I honestly don't know whether it's going to go up or down from here. It could go either way. And so again, that's why I took 20% of my EOS portfolio and put it into Bitcoin, just because this chart was a little bit on the concerning side. Now, that can be viewed two ways. This is the lowest point in about a year or two. And so there's a lot of upside potential here. In fact, this could be really the best time to buy. Buy fear, sell greed, as the phrase goes. And right now, it's definitely fearful for EOS. And so in hindsight, I could be kicking myself. I could go, hey, I should have held on through that fear phase because that was the time I should have been buying more, in fact. If this doesn't leave you with a double answer, I don't know what does. Lastly, let's take a look at the EOS BTC charts. And on the EOS BTC charts, you can see again that EOS is basically at its low. This is 1 year right here. Let's look at the 2-year chart. It's almost at the lowest it's ever been since the ICO in terms of pricing in Bitcoin. And again, I can view that two ways. That's fear, right? We should be accumulating. I guess that depends on what you think Bitcoin's going to do. Let's put it this way. If you think that Bitcoin's going to lead the pack to the next bull run high, I believe that, then it's probably better to have your holdings predominantly in Bitcoin. However, if you think that the altcoins are going to have their next boom right now, I personally do not think that that's time yet. Then right now would be the time by far to accumulate as much EOS as possible and other altcoins as well. They tend to follow a similar trend because the upside potential is humongous for EOS right now. Absolutely humongous. Now, there's another factor here that I want to add to the mix because I did hold an enormous amount of EOS. I felt uneasy about how much it was and in conjunction with these markets that are just downturning. So I needed to balance it out. Even if there was a risk I'm making the wrong decision. And the reason I made that call was because I feel that Bitcoin's going to be leading the bull run charge. So for me, I had to take my emotions out of it. I feel that EOS is a superior cryptocurrency. I feel that Bitcoin Cash is a superior cryptocurrency to Bitcoin. I feel that Ethereum is a superior cryptocurrency to Bitcoin. I feel that they're all a superior cryptocurrency to Bitcoin. but Bitcoin leads the charge. So I'm going to take my emotions out of it, and I'm going to be riding Bitcoin up at least 43% of my portfolio up to the next bull run high. And then I'm going to take a look at diversifying out back into some more EOS. And hopefully if I do this right, I'll end up with more EOS than I had before I sold some for my Bitcoin. So there you go, guys. That's my opinion. Do with it what you will. Have a great day. I hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you very much.